is National Child Abuse Month and May is National Foster Care Month. The hundreds of thousands of children who are in foster care nationwide can benefit from any help that they can get. And our next guest is Keri Vellis. She's a Sonoma County mother who is mother to foster children, her own birth children. She's a foster care advocate, an author with a story of her own to tell. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's just start with, tell me about your family, because it's amazing and brought together by so many different paths.
Thank you. My husband's in law enforcement up in Sonoma County. He's a homicide detective. And my oldest is 17 and my youngest is 3. And so, we have 6.
And you have 6 children, which by itself is amazing. But the story of how, families come together in lots of different ways. Tell me how you started, your introduction to the foster care system in terms of your first introduction to say, maybe this is something that I want to be a part of.
Well, about 11 years ago, my husband got a horrific call where a baby had passed away, and he came home and he was just broken. And I said to him, we need to do something. But at the time our little guy was a newborn, and I said, give me, a couple years and let's explore what we're going to do. And we decided to become licensed emergency foster parents.
Which is amazing. Was it what you thought? There's the good intentions of saying, let's do this, but it's a lot to take on.
It is. I'm not going to lie, it is.
No, I think it's important for people to see how it can be. And tell me about the 3 children that came into your family, because, you fostered more children.
We've fostered 19 over the last
Wow.
6 years. And our first 2 were a sibling set. And it was a really bad situation where they came from. And just getting them stable and learning about, things that they needed, getting them support. So that was a lot, learning about, services that kids needed and to get them stable and functioning. And our little one we picked up at 2 days old, so she's now 3. And actually yesterday was our 2-year adoption anniversary that we adopted her. Yeah, so
that's
our
amazing.
Gotcha day.
Your gotcha day. How has that changed your view of the foster care system, what these children need, and really, what everyone's dealing with in terms of raising awareness, because this has become a very subject you're very passionate about.
There are over 450,000 children in the U.S. in care. They're being removed from their home and they're being placed in new homes. I think that so many people forget about that or don't really pay attention to it. And they're classmates with our children. They're on soccer teams. They're your neighbors. They're in our community. And supporting them, one thing that I'm able to do is go to classrooms. I read my books. I talk to children about foster care. I talk to them about abuse and being kind to other children and realize that you don't know what's going on behind, you don't know what's going on with other kids, and just to be compassionate.
Because unfortunately, abuse and foster care sometimes go hand in hand.
Exactly.
That what the children are facing and what brought them to their foster homes is very serious and heavy. These books that you've written, you've got one sometimes. Why did you feel like it was important to write these books? You're on your 3rd book now, but why do you think there was a need for a book that kind of just speaks to these children?
I like to read to my kids at bedtime. And there was nothing out there. I remember we had these 2 little girls, and I went to the bookstore, and there were no books. There was a story about a dog being removed from its mom, and I was like, that's not, I want to write something. And I did. I self-published my first book about 2 years ago, and it's a journey about a child being removed from their home and how they might feel, what might be in their new home, kind of what to expect. And I've watched the children, in Sonoma County. I've put them in the blue bags, which are bags given to foster parents, 3-day supply. And I've been able to donate them through my nonprofit. So I've watched little ones unzip their duffel bag and start reading the book. And it's basically a story when a child's removed and, all the things, and start smiling. Like they have hope, like this situation is going to bring them hope and make them feel good and comfortable about the situation they're in.
Because I think the themes in it are, this is me, and I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to be safe.
Exactly.
And I imagine for the foster parents too, it's a way to allow them to connect to, saying, when we read our books to children, whatever they are, it's about connecting them and giving them a place to kind of hold on to, I think.
Exactly.
And the goal of the nonprofit in terms of how many books you're wanting to give out?
We're trying to give them to every foster child in the U.S., 450,000. So getting donations, we're able to, I just shipped some back to Texas. So whenever whenever any money comes in, we ship them out. You know, we have a list of folks that that want them. So it's really important, and they're such a gift. And my illustrator was a former foster child.
Oh, and it reaches so many. We're out of time, but I do want to say, I mean, not everyone can foster, not everyone can adopt. These amazing things that you're doing, but there are other ways to help. And I know we talked in the break about how much advocate work is needed for these children. So thank you so much for all you're doing.
Thank you.
If you want more information, we have posted a link to Keri's website at ktvu.com under web links. Check out more of her story and how to help, because there's so much work, good work happening, and we'll